Hey good people, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my opinion on Love and Marriage Huntsville season 6 episode 17. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Letitia and Marcel Scott. I don't understand. I feel like we always see Tisha bring something up to her husband that is valid, that makes sense, and he somehow always gets her to apologize to him. Can y'all make that make sense? I feel like what she was saying in this episode, if it's true, which more than likely it is true, when she says to him, what's the budget looking like for us to get some furniture? Marcel is like, we don't need to get any furniture, or at least nothing along the lines of more than likely what you're trying to get. Let's get something from China or do a rent to own situation, kind of like a rent a center situation, I guess. And she's like, well, I know that I think I have a solution. If you don't put so much into these cars and stuff like that, then maybe we could use that money to get the furniture that we need. I don't understand how they're supposed to be having such a, I'm not in business. Let me just start off by saying that. So I don't really know if they're making, I believe, according to what we've heard from them in the past, they're making profits off of the things that they're doing in their business, right? They've gotten to that point where they're able to not have to work for anybody else, but work for themselves and make money to sustain themselves and their family. So I just don't understand why it's taking them so long to build this dream house, or even what's the status of their dream house, because I think the first part of this season, if I'm not mistaken, or was it last season 5, where they were, I think he fired his uncle or whoever was the contractor or whatever they were doing for their house. And I feel like ever since then, we never really heard anything else. So is the house going to be happening or what? Because right now they're living in a smaller apartment while they're renovating the house that they used to live in. Why would you invest? This is just me personally, again. Why would you invest money into renovating the place that you used to live at, as opposed to using that money to go towards your new place that you're supposed to be building? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then on top of that, she doesn't seem to really know the ins and outs of their finances, because she's coming to him, asking him basically to tell her what their budget is for furniture. And the other thing with the whole furniture thing is, girl, what's wrong with the furniture that you're using right now? Use that until you can obviously get to a better place where you can get something else, because the way your husband is talking, you can't afford it. That's basically what he said to you. Let's rent to own. Let's call China and get some furniture from there. That's what they're trying to do. And that's really, sad, especially when you see the vehicles that they drive and the appearance that they make it seem like they have, the stature that they come across as having on the show. It's crazy to me. But I feel like what she was saying made sense, and him saying, well, your budget is bigger than mine. I'm sure her budget also goes towards taking care of their kids. Or is there a separate budget for the children and she just gets $5,000 or however much he said money for herself to do whatever? And another thing, girl, Tisha, if that money is just for you, why not be savvy and, go to Ashley Furniture, get some furniture from there? Because I'm guaranteeing you, if they go and buy new furniture for the renovation that they're doing right now, when they're ready to move into their dream house, the house that they're supposedly building, she's going to scratch that furniture and go ahead and buy new furniture to fit that house. So why not just go to Ashley Furniture, a store like that, it's quality, pick you up a couple of, what do they do? They have packages where you could get you could furnish a whole room for $1,000. Do that and keep it moving. If you guys don't have your dream house built yet, obviously you need to do something a little bit more to get yourself to that place. That's just my opinion on that. But I said all of that to really say, the thing that stood out to me, as I said earlier, is the fact that Tisha is always apologizing to her husband for something that makes 100% sense and is 9 times more than 10 exactly what he's doing. She's right in what she's saying, but yet he always guilts her into apologizing. And then what I also didn't understand is, how do you talk about him, doing this car over? You talk about you want to know what your budget is for the furniture, but yet you still trying to get a new truck. And you said all of that and did all of that to get him to get you a truck. What? What do they have going on over there? Like, it just, none of it made any sense to me. I'm just trying to figure out, like, are they well off or what? You know, like, what's going on in their household? Because if you ask him, it's like he's trying to not scrape together pennies or anything, but he's trying to go the most cheapest route that he can go, and she's trying to jack up the prices. I just don't understand. If you guys have a different take on it, please enlighten me, because it just doesn't make any sense. Has Tisha not sat down and told her husband, you know, you really had me looking stupid on the show. Can you maybe try to tone that down a little bit so I don't come across the way I come across, like a dumb wife? And I hate to say it, but it's like a lot of the time she comes across as less than smart. And I don't believe that's the truth about her, but it's just how she comes across, and just allowing your husband to say and do anything to you, and you're okay with it. How many times have we seen him apologize to her? Not many. It seems like I said earlier, it's always her apologizing to him. Let's move on. I'm really enjoying the relationship that Tiffany and Stormy have together. I really am, because obviously we know they did not start out this way. And so to see that they're, you know, decent friends, decent enough that Tiffany would solicit the help of Stormy for her son's coming out party is really, really nice. I feel like, you know, obviously the relationship that Stormy has had with Nell has gone downhill. So it's good to see that she's in a good space with somebody on the cast outside of Melody. You know, Tiffany's going through postpartum depression. It's interesting to me because she really wanted to have this baby, and I believe children are a blessing. But it was clear also that her husband really was not interested in having a baby. Okay, I think he really did it just to shut her up and to just go ahead and do what she asked him to do. But now she's kind of complaining, you know, that he's not there and this, that, and the third. He's working. Well, he's trying to support his family. You know, there's a give and take when it comes to marriage and relationships. And when your husband, I don't know if he's the breadwinner. I would think he is the breadwinner in their family. He's trying to be a provider. Okay. My husband goes out to work 6 days a week so he could provide for our family. And although I'm stuck with our children, I don't want to say stuck, but I'm with our children more times than he is all the time compared to him. I don't ever throw that in his face or make him feel a certain type of way about it, because I know at the end of the day, his heart's desire is to take care of his family. And if he could be home with the kids, you know, or be more present with them, he would. So as a wife, looking at her kind of complain about her husband who's out there working because now you've added another person to your family, I don't see where he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the deal? The baby's little party that she was putting together, I felt bad for her because her event people, when she got to the place, they were not prepared. They were not ready. Nothing was really done other than the catering. The decorations and everything else wasn't. And I feel like her help kind of gave her a little attitude, like, girl, who is paying who? Tiffany, are you paying these people or are these people paying you? Because the way that lady said, well, you know, it was raining, so we couldn't do everything that we wanted to do in a timely fashion, basically is what she said. The way she said it was like with a little attitude, and I was like, girl, I'm not paying you to you know, give me an attitude when you don't do what you're supposed to be doing. It was embarrassing. And then here we have what's her name, Kimmy, coming in and saying some slick mess in her confessional about the situation, saying, you know, well, I don't think that Tiffany pretty much cares that her stuff is not put together. That was kind of foul. Of course she cares that it's not, but what is she going to do? Sit and cry about it? The show must go on. So she's going to entertain you guys, solicit your help until everything is complete. Like, girl, why are you coming up in here with this negative energy? Like, why you got to say that, Kimmy? I don't like that. Tisha and Marceau, they go out with the Fletchers, or the Fletchers invite them out. Marceau's kind of like finding it funny that they invited them out, but yet they, meaning the Fletchers, are running late. Okay, and Marceau, like, who really cares? The Fletchers pretty much want to know why they were not a part of community event that Marceau and Tisha put together. being that they've been in business in Huntsville for 29 years and are very successful. Marcel says some slick stuff talking about he didn't know what they did and he thought that the husband basically did everything and the wife did absolutely nothing. It's pretty much what this, other than look pretty, is pretty much, I'm summing up what he said. And it's just, that man is so disrespectful. What's going to happen to Marcel, honestly, and I hate, it just is what it is. He going to say that mess. He going to talk slick to the wrong person. And it's going to cost him, okay? It's going to cost him dearly because his mouth is reckless. And I can understand when I'm listening to other people give reviews about the show or just their opinion about the cast, why other women, consider him to be one of the women. It's just the things that you say, like no man really says stuff like that. Like who says that? So the gist of this meeting with the Fletchers is Marcel takes it upon himself to try to belittle Melody's t-shirt, even though the t-shirts that she's selling, even though he doesn't say her name. He takes some shots at her and her husband with their what he considers to be failed business. Now let's be clear, Melody is still doing big things in her business. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, right now she has her own network. So obviously she's making moves. Martel, not so much. Okay, but if I'm also not mistaken, y'all wanted Melody to be a part of your endeavors because you knew that if her name was attached to what you guys were doing, you probably would have more of a crowd and more people interested in it. Let's just be clear. So the fact that you're sitting at this table trying to minimize these people is crazy to me. But that just goes to show you the type of person that both he and his wife is, because she was co-signing on the mess as well. Another thing that I wanted to point out in this episode was the sit down that Melody had with Kiki. Kiki basically says, we all know that there was some type of surveillance done at Home Depot where they're alleging that she went into the store and tried to get her child to steal some items with her. And Kiki is saying, this is all alleged. I've not been found guilty. I've not been arrested or charged with anything. Melody's trying to figure out, if that's you, what's going on? And Kiki's like, I can't talk about it. My lawyers are involved. I can't confirm or deny. But at the end of the day, she feels confident that she'll be vindicated. I don't know what's going on with that. I know when the show came back, one of the things that they put, like a disclaimer, they said that Kiki was still not arrested or charged with anything. So I don't know what's going on with that situation, but I do know that Kiki just wanted to make it clear to Melody that she's not relapsed or done anything like that. She also mentions to Melody that Tisha, she was one of the last people to reach out to her from the group regarding the situation. And I just feel like Melody feels, you guys are rebuilding your relationship. And let me be clear, I also think Melody is really politicking this season, if you will. She's the politician this year, because we know that she and Tisha don't like each other. Okay, we've known that for quite some time. And the response that she gives to Kiki is a politically correct response when she basically tells her, listen, you guys are not in a good place. Y'all are trying to rebuild your relationship. So you can't really expect her to just, pick up the phone and call you and all be well. I feel like Melody obviously has some more things that she could have said, but she chose the high road, and I have to respect her for that. I don't know how authentic it is, what she said to Kiki, but I would like to believe, Mel's my girl, I do like Melody, I would like to believe what she said is really coming from the heart and she meant what she said. But those are the key things that I wanted to talk about in this week's episode. You guys let me know what you thought about it, and we will talk again during next week's recap. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. You all have a great day. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.